think a lot of guys, when I date them and I say like, oh, I don't have this family background, they think I'm going to take Chanel to Christmas and she's going to meet my mom and my dad. And then she will see what love and family really looks like, right? And then we go there and guess what? They're about to stab each other. Yeah. And they're burning things, and the daughter, she said she's not coming, she's blocked everybody. Yeah. Like, it's insane, right? Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, I love the peas. Yeah. This is really
Guys, we are here with stand-up comedian, one-woman show creator, writer, star, Chanel Ali.
Hey.
So happy to have you back.
Hello.
Guys, it's great to be back.
You said something to me this morning that I was so happy to hear, that I don't think I've ever heard from a female guest. After the first time you were on the show, you ended up dating a listener.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right?
Are you hype?
Oh my God.
So
well, I'll be hyped when I hear how the experience was.
I would hope it would be good.
No, he was great. He was
good.
really, honestly, one of the best guys I ever dated.
Nice.
And
yes, man. Way to step up.
I remember that after I did the taping with you guys, I had a bunch of new followers because you know how y'all be. And they were mostly women, obviously.
Yeah.
And this one guy came through and I was like, damn, he's very good looking to be listening to a podcast. My God. This is a very good looking man to just be cleaning. I just imagine him cleaning a house and listening to y'all. And I was like swooning immediately. And he immediately slid in my DMs. I was like, hey, I just heard you on that podcast. And I'm just like so proud of you. All these things that you've done with your life. It's really incredible. And I'm Canadian. And like, I was like, I'll like it, but I'm not going to play, you know? I just like liked it. And then after a while, he sent me his phone number. He was like, hey, I know we've never like spoken, but I really would like our interactions to change. And then we dated for a while.
Well played, sir.
I would like our interactions to change. I don't mind that. That's interesting language.
And I like that he left it open. He's like, and if you would like it too, here's my number. You know?
Right.
Reach out when you're ready.
Smooth.
You're proving a thing that I thought was true. Maybe I more hoped it was true, but that the straight male listeners of the show are like good quality men. Yeah. Or at least want to be good quality men.
100% of the time for me, it's been. Yeah. So far.
1 out of 1, yeah.
We'll see after this episode. I'll report back.
How'd the breakup happen?
I honestly was just so fucking busy.
Right.
And you know when you're like not being a good person to somebody, it was like 2 times that he asked me like, hey, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. Why do you say that? And he was like, well, I just called you earlier and you didn't call me back. And I was like, okay, you're being a bitch to him, shouldn't I? Like he is an incredible person and he really does not deserve that. And you're just like so in your head about comedy and life and like a lot of other things at the time that I was like, I just was honest with him. I was like, I can't do it right now. And I think you're great. And honestly, we did date again after that for a little while and it was the same thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm wasting your time. Yeah. Like, and both times he like in between had a whole fine ass girlfriend. So he's doing fine. I'm sure. But
married to the
really
game.
Quality guy.
Comedy.
Only thing that was rough for me is that he had a child, and that was my first time ever dating somebody who had a kid.
Yeah.
And one time we were on the phone, he was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to Miss Chanel," and I was like,
Miss. Oh.
I just threw up a little in my mouth.
Miss Chanel.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't like it.
Kids do be calling women Miss whatever the first name is. My nephew calls his kind of stepmom that.
It was. I was like, oh, okay. I don't like this actually.
Had you met the child?
No, because we were long distance.
Okay.
So he would just like come up here or like come when I was on the road or whatever. Yeah. But we weren't that close that I was like, I'm ready to meet your child. You know?
Right.
And I'm already like not answering all the calls.
So it sounds like a pretty good breakup as far as breakups go.
It was easy. I mean, because he could feel like, obviously, we should be getting closer and we're not. Because I'm just not calling you back sometimes. So, yeah.
So are you, is dating just like over there for you? Like just miles away?
I'm dating now. That was a while ago, honestly. That was a while ago. I think I just was like in a transitional, when you're just like, I'm working on myself right now. I was really heavy into that then.
Yeah.
But he was so good looking. I dated him.
That's so helpful.
You ever date somebody for a younger you?
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't go well for me.
I once dated someone for high school me. It was like one of the most popular kids in my high school I dated later on just to stick it to the man.
Yes.
And it was not even someone who I yearned for when I was in high school or wanted, it's not like, I don't know, he wasn't really mean to me or anything.
But then the opportunity presented itself.
It just was like, ooh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Weird, unfamiliar dynamics.
Sure. I feel like I sometimes throw a bone to older or younger Chanel and be like, look how hot it is.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself, we can do this.
This entire thing could be yours.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to treat yourself.
Absolutely.
I saw the majority of your one-woman show back at Caveats, and it was so good. You're such a fucking talented performer, and you're really you really kind of mastered this specific to you level of vulnerability that I really appreciate. And you were in foster care, so a lot of it was about your experience in foster care and having a little brother and meeting him. And your mom was a lot.
Yeah, she was losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny to me in the beginning.
Amazing.
Your biological mom?
Yeah, my biological mom, because I had visitation with her until I was like 6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah.
And, every couple of months I'd see her and I'd be like, oh, you're looking a little crazier.
Yeah.
What's going on, So I definitely watched her unravel, but it took me a long time to realize that's what it was.
Okay, so you were in the dark. You're a child, so a child can't grasp
and
everything.
Nobody ever said, like, oh, your mom is, like, suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and she's got bipolar. They were like, she's sick and you can't live with her. And I was like, her outfit is lit. I don't know what y'all The girl can coordinate. I don't know what crazy y'all are referencing. She's fine.
But it seemed like you're, like, the misperceptions a child would have about a fucked up mom or dad, yours were, like, on the lighter side, it seemed.
Yeah, people always say that. People are like, oh, you speak about your mom with such love.
Yeah.
And I do have a lot of love for her.
That's beautiful. Did that take a while to learn, or that was natural to you since the beginning?
I think it honestly was like a nature thing. It was like, she can't take care of me, clearly.
Yeah.
She can barely take care of herself. Mm-hmm. And she has the wherewithal enough to say that. To say, I cannot take care of my child. Yeah. And that, to me, even as a little girl, was like a sign of love. It really was.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, yeah, it's not amazing in these foster homes. Some of these white people talk to me a little crazy. But my mom knew that she couldn't do it. And I think that it gave me, like, the ability to forgive her.
That's beautiful.
And who knows what I would have experienced if I had been in her home my whole life.
Right, exactly. Did you ever have, like, profound sadness growing up?
Yeah, for sure. I was, like, suicidal when I was 10, for sure.
Okay.
I went up to my 5th grade teacher and I was like, if I don't talk to somebody, I'm going to hurt myself. And she was like, let me get the phone. Oh, shit, what the fuck? Like, they took me to the counselor. I didn't even know we had that.
A counselor?
I didn't even know that was a thing. And she had all these degrees. And I just told her my life story. And it was the first time I ever told an adult my life story and they didn't cry. And that to me was like, whoa, this is the strongest white woman in the world. She's got like superpowers.
Right. It sucks when you tell a therapist and they're like, oh, and you're like, that's not helping.
No.
Or when they're crying too, because I feel like when you make your therapist cry, well, it feels alarming almost. Yes. Like they kind of should be this like steady ground that you can say anything to. And I'm like, well, and then it's also like, well, if you're fucking crying now, I feel like I have to take care of you.
Yeah,
I'm paying for this.
I'm doing double duty.
Yeah.
And I remember her like nodding and clearly listening to me, like really taking it in and giving me space, just
that's beautiful.
To be able to say, this happened and now I'm fucking 8 and it's like, I can't even believe all this shit has happened. Can you believe? And it was just really, really healing for me. It taught me the power of therapy. I've gone back to therapy a few times. I will go back tomorrow if I feel like I need to.
Yeah, right.
And I encourage a lot of people who do that because I think a lot of people don't realize like how much trauma they have from having parents even.
Yes, I think a family is a toxic thing to begin with.
It's a gamble.
And
being alive.
Total gamble. Being born is traumatic. Being born is very traumatic. But you said something interesting with why I asked you to send us like little story points that you teach your romantic partners how to set boundaries with their parents. Yeah. Which is so funny because I guess you have a more bird's eye view, so you can separate yourself.
Of course.
Is that received well from the said partner?
Most of the time, but not always in the beginning because it's very jarring. And I think a lot of guys, when I date them and I say like, oh, I don't have this family background, they think I'm going to take Chanel to Christmas and she's going to meet my mom and my dad. And then she will see what love and family really looks like. Right. And then we go there and guess what? People they're about to stab each other. Yeah. And they're burning things. And the daughter, she said she's not coming. She's blocked everybody. Yeah. Like it's insane. Right. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, I love the peas. Yeah. This is really, and it's like, they don't realize that because I moved around so much, I can diagnose it immediately. Like, oh, clearly mom drinks a little too much. Dad is gay, but he's still lovely and he's going to stick it out, But it's, clearly that's what's happening in your household. So they don't, but when I have really told a romantic partner, like, your parents sometimes are cruel to you. And one time I was dating a musician and his parents just did not support him. And he had this huge gig. It was about to change his life. And the next day after the gig, like, we're celebrating. We're still popping bottles. His dad calls him and he puts him on speakerphone. And his dad, like, doesn't ask him about the gig. He just goes on and on about his day. He's like, yesterday I went golfing and then I did this and I ran into this guy and then we watched the game and we blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, that's cool, Dad. That's awesome. Yeah, let's do that next time I'm around. Yeah. And they get off the phone and I'm like, do you know what just happened? Do you know what just happened with you and your father? And he's like, yeah, he just loves talking to me about sports and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. He just loves shoving it in your face. Yeah. That he's not going to show up for you when you really need it. Yeah. And you need to set a boundary. You need to set a boundary and make sure that you communicate with him that I need you to be there for me, Dad. Yeah. Even though I'm fucking 40. I need you to show up. Right. Or you stop answering the phone so much when he calls to gloat.
Right. Yeah.
Because it ruined his day. Yeah. It took the steam out of the biggest day of his life. Yeah. And it reduced him to, in my opinion, a child.
Yes.
And I had to, in a loving way, but in a stern way, show him, you don't have to accept that.
Right.
You get to set a standard with your relationship with your dad.
And, hearing that, I imagine the ones that get mad, and I'm just putting myself in their shoes, I wonder if they're like, that denotes all the pain I went through to get the relationship to where it is.
Right.
I'm thinking it's in a good place, but it's very clearly not. And you have to realize, like, what was all that suffering I had my whole life for nothing? I mean, obviously it's not, but yeah.
But I also think that not being able to face some of those things and having those toxic relationships in your life also affect your love life.
Definitely, yeah.
Because if you're dealing with your mommy issues and your daddy issues every single time they call, and they call, where am I on the totem pole of how annoyed you are with the people who care about you so much?
Yes.
Yeah. And how affected are you going to be about the support I give you while you constantly have this void?
You're such a sage.
I know.
You're really wise.
I'm tired.
But like the wise people, they're probably all exhausted because you're surrounded by fucking idiots, for lack of a better word. And it's like trying to get people to see things that they need to see to make their lives better.
To heal. I mean, people, that's what they say to me. Like, how are you so well adjusted? You seem like you came from a two-parent. People are always like, oh, your parents are probably doctors. I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's been, when people say to you, it seems like you came from
they're like, you're so well adjusted.
It's pretty rude.
It's the same as being like, you speak well. Right. But I do take it as a compliment because it could be worse, But
well, you do have a very rare level of knowledge where it, like, you could see, like, even to go to your teacher and say, hey, I want to hurt myself, and to know to not internalize that, to not be ashamed about that, to not shove that down because you didn't have a lot of support emotionally growing up. So to know that you needed support, like a kid's journey to like ask for support when they've been denied it their whole lives is really, that's a strength that's like kind of otherworldly.
I really accredit that to having my little brother with me, because I had a little brother with me in foster care. And that, like, even me going to tell my teacher that day, I wasn't even thinking that much about myself and my life. I was thinking, I gotta be well because I have a fucking baby at home.
Yeah.
And I'm 10 and I'm trying to mother.
You're a single mom at 10,
And so I was like, I'm bad up here. I didn't know what to call it. I was like, it's bad up here. Yeah. And I need somebody to help me because I got to, like, be present for this kid. Yeah. So whatever higher power you believe in or whatever they knew that I was going to give up if I didn't have some little Aladdin-looking baby with me that was, like, needing me because I was exhausted, man. I was exhausted.
And then when you had those shitty experiences with foster parents, like white foster parents talking down to you or whatever the fuck they did to you, like, how did you cope with that?
I mean, it taught me to stand up for myself. Yeah. I mean, imagine being 5 or 6 year old and telling somebody like, that's really racist what you said. Yeah. And also, you suck at doing my hair. You fucking suck at it. You don't even try. You have all the tools. You have people you could call. Yeah. And you don't even care. I fucking look crazy out here.
Did you find like a lot of people, there's this like thing with foster care systems where a lot of times like people will foster just for the money and not spend any of it on the kid, giving the kid no attention. It's just like for a fucking part-time job.
Yeah, especially during the late 80s, early 90s when I was in the system. It's like before social workers had an iPad and could like track stuff. Yeah. They just weren't as efficient on the information and the data. So, it was a cash grab for a lot of people, I'm sure. Yeah. But even now, I think I get to play, like, choose your own adventure every holiday,
I got it. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Depending on who I'm dating or who's close in my life, I get to decide which family I want to join. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty luxurious.
Yeah. You feel like Ferris Bueller or something. Yeah. Like you feel like, I remember when I cut my parents off, I was like, oh my God, Thanksgiving is mine.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about them getting mad. Yeah, for years. Wow. I haven't talked to them. And it's like the freedom, you feel like an adult. It's weird.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, I don't think that as a society we ever like are taught that like, have you guys seen that new documentary about the mom
texting?
Unknown number.
Yes. And like your mom could be your biggest bully.
Yeah,
I think for many people that's true,
and it could go unchecked.
Yeah,
for your whole life.
That documentary fucked me up so fucking hard. I didn't know that was the mom up to work. This is a spoiler, but you know, it's still a captivating story.
Right.
When I saw because my mom was a narcissist, just everything's about me, and at first the mom didn't see. She seemed normal and sweet. I didn't see it. And then it got into her story. And then when the daughter was like, I'm not allowed to talk to my mom yet, but I really want to, and I miss her. And I'm like, oh, God, you're still under the spell. It broke my heart.
The only thing that gave me hope was the dad being so pissed.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that gave me hope. He was like, you need to call somebody. You got to get out of here. I was like, now that's the energy we need. Get her out of here. It's not even safe.
And it didn't seem like the dad was too shit-talky about the mom to the daughter, which I was like, damn, that's a really emotionally mature man right there.
Yes. He was like, I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And then we're both...
in front of the cops.
Yeah. And we're both going to go to jail. It's going to be... So, just get out of here because you're a nut, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Prayers up for... It's crazy when I see, that type of white-on-white crime. You know what I mean?
This happens all the time.
It's just do your own daughter. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's off. When your parent's your bully, and the source of your poor self-esteem is from the person that was supposed to nurture it. You're like, God damn.
Right.
It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I want to go back for a second to the boundaries with the partner that you were talking about with the incident with the musician. So. You said that you saw him kind of devolve into a child.
Yeah.
So the gig was close enough that the parents could have easily attended and just chose not to.
Yeah. Even worse is that it was in New York City and his dad was like, yeah, I was in New York City all day.
What?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And your boyfriend at the time voiced to you that it would have been super meaningful if his parents were there, or
I don't think he even felt. I don't even think he felt comfortable enough to ask them even even let them know. But because he had been working, he'd obviously been a musician for a while.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe, in my opinion, he felt like I can't just keep asking them to come support me. And in my eyes, I knew it was huge.
Right.
It was the time to ask.
Right.
And the fact that they didn't know that or recognize that, and then called you and they didn't
even
wish
ask
you
about
luck.
it. Yeah.
Didn't wish you luck before.
Yeah.
Didn't check on you after, say how was it.
Right.
Barely acknowledged it when they called.
Right.
I was like, that is a toxic ass conversation you just had. It looked on the surface like it was chill.
Right.
But it was toxic.
Thank God for partners like you, though. And I think, Corinne, you do this too. You speak the fuck up when you recognize, hey, what you should be being treated better.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And just saying something right away.
Right.
That's so helpful to people that don't see.
Yeah, because we don't know. Sometimes we don't even know how to be vulnerable like that to explain that feeling. I saw him get off the phone and internalize it, right? But he didn't have the words to say, I wish my dad did the thing that he should do as a dad.
Right.
He was just like, that's how my dad is. I was like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah. Right.
No, fuck that shit. He shouldn't have access to you if that's just how he is.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have access to you because it's an incredible, I was like, we had an amazing night last night.
Yeah.
And this guy just came and shitted on it.
Yeah, that's terrible. Oh,
right.
Poor guy. That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Was he receptive? He was receptive?
Yeah, he was really receptive. And he did tell me later on, even after we broke up and had really healthy conversations, he was like, you helped me understand some of the things that in my life I never labeled as abuse, that they were.
Yeah.
That I was sometimes abused, not just by my parents, but by people that were in the house, by my siblings. He had never been able to classify it as that. He was just like, parents were working, shit was whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, that shit is crazy that you're telling me.
Did he have a fucking nervous breakdown when he realized his entire reality was constructed in his head and not really the reality in front of him?
You know what's crazy is I think it's like when you answer a whisper, it's like his whole life he thought, I think my family's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I can't say that because I love them.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, yo, that shit is fucked up, he was like, it is fucked up, ain't it? It is, right? Holy shit, it's fucked up.
Yeah,
and I gotta stop fucking dealing with this, or I gotta tell them.
Have you ever been in a situation in a relationship, friendship, or romantic where you realized it was toxic?
Like our friendship?
Or any friendship.
Yeah, for sure. I had to do a friendship breakup with this girl when I was a comedian in Philly just because she drank too much.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one.
It was so tough, man.
Yeah.
Because I liked her. I really liked hanging out with her.
Alcoholics are usually fun.
She was so fun. And there was when we worked together, that's where we met. We had worked at this tech company. And then one day she asked me for $9 to buy a big thing. She had $13. and she needed $9 to buy the big thing of vodka. And I was like, but then you'll have $0.
Right.
And she was like, oh, that's what are you talking about? I never thought about that. And I was like, oh, I don't know if we're I don't know if we're operating on the same level, because
the blinders.
Yeah, because I could feel like she was feeling like I was judging her, and I was like, no, I for sure want to give you $9. Just not for
that, man.
For something else.
You spend the rest of your money on vodka.
Yeah, and don't make me like witness to you destroying yourself.
Because now I got to drink some vodka.
Yeah.
Just to feel okay about it. I got to turn up with you.
And how old were you at the time, though?
Like 24, maybe.
That's so interesting, because I was actually thinking this weekend, because of someone I saw, like about how like it was kind of fine to be, in a weird way, friends with alcoholics when you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm 39, and like some of the people are still alcohol. I mean, I guess if you're alcoholic, you're always, but like they're not in recovery. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I can't really be friends with an alcoholic. Yeah. That sounds terrible. Like, is there a time limit? I do not subscribe to like a lot of time limits or age standards. But I was like, alcoholics is one that I did put the kibosh on at this age.
They never remember. It's like,
right? You can't bond with them.
That's really difficult. Especially if they done something fucked up and you're like, hey, remember when you said that? They're like, what? Yeah. That's like, how do you even...
Did she take that well?
No,
addicts usually.
Pissed. Yeah, she was pissed. But I think she cleaned herself up, honestly, because we still follow each other on IG. She'll probably see this.
Okay, good.
She's doing okay.
Glad you're doing well.
You really follow Dan Savage's campsite rule. You leave people better than you found them.
Yeah, I try to. God damn it, I try to.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it seems like you give a lot to people that you're in relationships. Is there anything valuable that anyone's given to you in a relationship?
Yeah, I hate to give credit. I hate to give creddet to men. I really do.
No, I don't love it either.
One time I dated this fresh divorcee. And he was really on paper it sounded like bad, right? He was like, yeah, I just divorced my wife. I cheated on my wife 17 times.
17? So specific.
He counted it.
Yeah, she cheated on me like 8 times, I think.
Okay.
And we were super toxic and we broke all each other's shit and it was crazy. And I learned so much from dating from him because he was building himself up from the beginning again.
Whoa.
Like acknowledging that he never really loved her.
Whoa. Wow,
He started taking piano lessons.
Okay.
He got a dog. He started smoking weed. And while that was dating him during that time, he taught me a lot about reinventing yourself, being honest.
Yeah.
And he told me so much about why he chose to get married. And his wife was beautiful, man. They were a beautiful couple. And he was like, I felt all this pressure because it looked so good.
Yeah.
I felt all this pressure because everybody had the photo of us. I felt all this pressure because she had just been around. And it was a lie.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way for her. I never felt that way. And I want to fucking smoke weed and play the piano and meet a bitch who's down with that.
Right.
Yeah. And he did. And now he has kids with him.
Wow. Oh, good.
Yes. But even though we did for a little time, like just watching him go through that transition, it taught me so much about being honest and not being afraid to try something new and meet new people and like just fucking start playing the violin if you want. Like whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
Just like go do it because you're going to find somebody in that realm who'll understand you more than the people from your past and the times you lied and weren't really sure who you were.
And do you think his wife was in love with him?
I have no idea.
Do we know that?
I have no idea.
She cheated too. I don't know.
Yeah. It sounds like such like we talk about this so much, but like it feels such like a cis straight man move to get married to someone that you're not in love with.
I know.
Like women do it. It's like we're not lying to ourselves. We're like, oh, it's for the money or for the security. I feel like we're not lying to ourselves about it. It's for some type of like necessity or something tangible. Whereas like men, I feel just like they just like it's like the treadmill just keeps getting faster, and they're like, I gotta run faster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There's a
wild
meme, or no, it wasn't a meme. It was a guy on Instagram on the Discovery page. I found him, and he was saying like the amount of men that'll marry. I didn't like the way he used the words, but like the amount of men that'll marry a 6 and daydream about the 10 for the rest of your relationship is much larger than you think, ladies. I'm like, all right, first of all, fuck off.
Yeah.
But also, that sucks.
Because what do we call golden retriever energy for a woman? What do we call it?
People pleaser. Oh. Right? I would think.
I see. It's interesting because I don't feel like when I date like I actually have a golden retriever boyfriend right now, but I don't feel like when people are people pleasing, it like makes my skin crawl. But golden retriever to me is like a little bit, because like even when
you good mood,
like even when you think of the dog, I actually don't. I hate dogs that just like everyone, because I go, oh come on,
get some standards,
be picky, and like I don't feel that way about golden retrievers as a breed of dog. Yeah, they're just like they want to. I think of more of golden retrievers as like they want to be of service,
right,
to their partner, which is like actually so. It's such a relief.
That's my favorite question.
But when a woman wants to
that a man has ever asked me a favorite question.
What can I do?
How can I help you right
yes.
now?
Oh, that is makes me so horny.
Get on your knee. I mean, you can carry this to your car.
Yes, it's so nice to be helped.
So, but a woman who's how can I help you? I just maybe because of the way straight men are, I'm like, don't do that, girl. Like yourself more. But a man who does that to his girlfriend, I'm like, good man.
I think it's also the societal balance of understanding. Like, you ever talk to a boy comedian and they're like, yeah, I walk around the city all the time at night, and I ride my bike through Central Park, and it's like, I never do that. They're like, why? And it's like,
different realities.
So I appreciate when a man can acknowledge that and like help a little. Because I've been on edge all night.
I don't know if I ever dated a golden retriever guy.
It's funny. Actually,
sounds great.
Yeah,
it's funny because I was thinking about you this weekend, because I was thinking about the two boyfriends I've had who it felt the easiest with, and I was like, what is the similarity between those two relationships? And I've had a lot of relationships. I go through them like underwear, and they made me feel like a princess, which is not something that you would think knowing me that I would want, but I love it. Yeah. But I can't go too far that I feel spoiled. But
because my ego can get bad. Yeah, I would think if I got that energy too much.
But have you ever had a boyfriend who treated you like a princess? And have you princess or queen, whatever you? I like princess, but
I do too.
I honestly think I didn't experience much romance in dating until I dated a white guy. Honestly,
really?
Yeah, I dated a white guy. We were both living in Michigan at the time, and he would like run bubble baths, wake me up with jazz in the house, make breakfast, and just was very like caring and wanted to like just let's stand in the kitchen and just talk.
That sounds lovely.
Right?
I've never met a white guy like that.
Niggas do not say that shit. You could not ask a black man. I was just thinking we could just like stand around and sip wine and like talk about the things that we love. Maybe like. For what?
I'd be suspicious. I'd be like, why are you filming this? What's going on?
He taught me a lot of romance, I would say, for sure. And I do think he had some golden retriever energy, but also he had a little like light Republican energy. And I was
weird.
Yeah, I was like, we were young enough that I was like, I'm not really sure what that is, but now I know that it wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that's maybe why, because he had like this more traditional values about like the role of man and woman. Yeah. And so like in a more conservative household, you would be, the woman would be the one that would be adored. Yeah. Like that's when you're doing it in the really like polarizing like man woman energy or binary, I guess. But yeah.
And he used to like to fuck to Outkast. And like Outkast as a rap group, not really into making sexy songs really.
Right.
Boom,
like boom, boom. Hey,
wow, fucking to Outkast.
Yeah, he ruined a couple Outkast songs for me. I was at a party the other day and I was like, can you turn this off? Oh. And they were like, why? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Fucking Outkast.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I would be like, why on repeat though? He's like, I just like
Outkast. The same song?
Yeah.
That's
or like
strange.
3 Outkast songs that he would make a playlist.
Darn.
And he used to take photos of me when I was asleep. And they would be like, literally like, when you look like you're dead?
Yeah, I look like a troll when I sleep.
Like this close. And I actually found them in his phone because I was like doing something one day. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, you look so beautiful. And I was like, you're a nut. You're a fucking psycho, man.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I look crazy in these. I was like, delete these. He was like, all of them? I was like, all of them.
Wow.
They are crazy.
You're describing in one man really uniquely wonderful qualities and really shitty ones.
Yeah.
That had to have been so confusing.
It wasn't going to work out, but he was a good cook.
That's very helpful. That's very helpful. I feel like if I had a guy treat me like a princess, I'd feel uncomfortable with it.
Initially, but then I
shouldn't be.
get comfortable with it. Yeah. I mean, and I've had it like the first time it was like my first serious boyfriend ever. So I feel like it did turn me into a brat. But then, years later you go, oh, maybe I should have just acted normally with that behavior, and then I wouldn't have had to put up with all this other behavior that I put up with for the past 15 years. And we could have just saved ourselves a lot of time, but then we wouldn't have the stories.
I know, the stories.
I've also had that over-under where it's like, yeah, he did treat me like a princess, but he also, like, opened my mail.
That's fucked up. That's illegal.
I don't think I've had like he's treating me like a princess. He has golden retriever energy, and it's all okay. It was always like some trade off. Like we're fucking outcasts. We're fucking.
That's why dating is so. Oh god, it's such a gamble. It's such a bar because then you invest, and then you only see the good things at first, and then they show you all the other things, and you're like. But it makes you go. There's got to I mean, maybe I would. I don't know. My brain goes. That's most men, but I'm like I have to have some of those qualities too. I just don't know what they are yet. Like that I show a man that's not becoming once we're really comfortable.
Well, and for a long time I feel like I was dating and been like not really knowing what I wanted, not really being serious about it. And then I was like I really thought about it and I was like I want this, 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 and this. And I got all those things, but then I was like maybe too lenient on some other things like money. You don't
have to have any.
I know, and I do stand by that. But I go, well, maybe I should have been so open about that.
How cool would it have been to date a guy with his own money as well, and then you both have money.
Well,
they go
on
vacation.
You're like, oh, I don't want to start getting greedy.
I like guys with money for sure.
Have you ever dated a rich guy?
Yeah, I have. I've dated I feel like all like aspects of.
Wow! You've checked all the archetypes. It sounds like.
And I remember I was dating this really rich guy, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta transfer some money real quick." And I looked over his shoulder, and I watched him transfer $25,000 from his savings to his checking.
Wow!
And I was like, "For what could you be needing to do that?"
Yeah.
But I didn't want to ask him more questions because we were in a hotel already, and I was just like having a good time. But his ears were too small. They were just really tiny ears.
This is hilarious.
And
child ears.
Every time he turned, I would be like, I don't know, for a lifetime, if I could.
Right.
With your little ears, I don't know.
You do have to think about that. You have to look at someone and be like, can I deal with this every single day?
Yeah. And anytime he was like, what? I was like, huh.
Did you find...
Anytime he was like, what'd you say? I would be like, I said,
hey, here with your little ears.
Yeah. I would think it and I would say it. And I was like, you're going to think that your whole life, Chanel, no matter how much money he transfers.
No matter how much money walking down that aisle with everybody there and go, ugh.
He said, do you do? That's what I'll say at the altar. Say yes, honey.
Tiny ears. Tiny hands freak me out.
Oh, yeah.
In a guy. Tiny hands, I'm like, or like little skinny lady fingers.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's got to match.
I know.
Yeah.
Ugh, or like Nosferatu fingers. That's also bad.
Now guys are getting like whole hairlines, limb lengthening.
Limb lengthening.
You haven't seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Of what limb? The legs, I guess?
Yeah, because like they only they could break something and like they I put a little extender and it's really wild.
Like that movie Gattaca. What they do in that
I've
movie.
never seen that.
Oh, you would love it. It's great. It's about like DNA and stuff.
Wow, that's fucked up. A guy with little ears.
But when you guys run game on guys, like when you're first trying to like holler at a guy, do you make him giggle? Because that's my thing.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like giggle like a girl. You're just like saying like, do I try to make him laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being
sassy.
funny.
You're sassy?
When I'm flirting with a guy. Yeah.
I can see that on you.
Yeah,
I can see you negging a guy a little bit.
100%.
And they probably love that.
They do like it. But then that's like to get him to reel him in, and then when we're together, it depends on what his personality is like. Every person's so different. But but you had said you like to make a guy laugh before sex or for foreplay. When I have sex, it is serious time. I'm such a giggly, like jokey, weird, like goofy person. The idea of laughing during sex makes me want to vomit.
Oh my God. Sometimes I'll just go down on a guy and I'll just stop and be like,
is this thing on?
Just like do a little bit and then we'll get back to it.
I like laughing.
And they're fine with this?
Yeah, they're like, that's hilarious. Also, let's continue.
The funny part of my brain, the goofy part of my brain and the horny part of my brain are like very disconnected. Like they feel like they're like the same magnet. They can't touch each other.
I was like on the road and I was hooking up with this guy and he just was sucking on my titties so hard. And you know when you're like, you're about to get turned off. Yeah, but you don't want to say something too harsh, like, "Hey, get the fuck," because then he's gonna get turned off. So I was just like, "Hey, there's like no milk." I don't know if you're parched. And it made him burst into laughter.
That's so funny.
Like, he had to pop a titty out of his mouth to laugh.
Oh, my God.
And then we just, like, after laughing, and we went back into it. And clearly he was not going to suck on them that hard again.
Maybe I should try it.
Because I was just like, I need to say something. And it was like the comedian in me, I think that really came out. Where I was like, how can I communicate with him that, like, you need to stop doing what you're doing?
Right. Yeah.
And also, like, don't ever do it again.
Yeah. That's a very effective way to communicate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm because I'm so serious during sex, I'm like, why would you do that? And it ruins everything.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like men, you know, like they have like their standard moves for like where the restaurant that they take women or the vacation that they take women on, but like they do the same thing sexually, I find a lot. And I'm like, that doesn't work. Like the body is not a template.
Yes. You don't even know me.
Yeah, it's very strange behavior to me. And especially when it's something weird like hard sucking on a titty.
Right.
You're like, you're just going to go, because that was the first time you had sex with that guy.
Like, you just assume that I'm
fucking crazy.
The first you're
time?
just assuming that that's what I'm into.
One time a guy, the first time we had sex, he bit my nipple. And then he slapped my tit. And I was like, what? No.
Like, why are you making these type of assumptions?
What?
What type of porn have you been watching?
Exactly.
On the first time, they're like, you already know what I like.
And you didn't even talk about
it.
The only
what? Not everybody likes that.
No.
I don't know if you've ever been on the app Field.
Oh, of course I've been on the app Field.
I fucked hard with that app. I love that app. It was I used it when it was called Frinder. And it was like Tinder for freeways, basically.
I didn't even know that.
You have so much more sophisticated sexual conversations with these people. And it's like, it's the only
honest
thing. Yes, and it's like we can talk about what we like sexually before the clothes come off. That makes sex so much better.
Yes, and I like when a guy knows himself enough to be like, this is the type of dick I have.
Yes, I love that.
This is what I'm capable of doing with it. I just started learning how to do this with it. I'll try it with you if you want. Also, like, if you want to beat my ass, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
Punch me.
Oh, really? Has the guy said you could punch him?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you do it?
Hell yeah, I beat his ass.
Did it feel great?
I beat his ass.
How'd it feel to beat a guy's ass after he requested it?
So great. So great.
Awesome.
Also, one time I was just writing a guy, and I was like, I think I said something like, you know, whose pussy is this or whatever, or like whatever.
Classic line.
You know, and
whose pussy?
He said something really low, and I was like, I just slapped him, and I was like, what'd you say? He was like, ooh. And I was like, I'm just playing. But the way he gasped.
That's so funny.
It cracked us up so much.
Oh, that's great.
And then we just went back into...
Wow, you're fun in bed.
Thank you so much.
You're fun in bed.
Thank you so much.
I'm trying to think of the times I've been dominant to men in bed, and there was a time I pegged a partner. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But I got aroused by it because it made me feel like a dude, and I liked that.
Yes.
Oh, it was awesome.
I haven't pegged the dude, but I have had, like, I was on a date with this actor, and I really thought so highly of him. He had made a roasted chicken.
Whoa.
Nice. He spent a lot of time in the kitchen. It was suspicious, yeah. And we hooked up once, and then he was like, do you want to go drink some more? And I was like, yeah, we're asking for consent all of a sudden? I don't know. Yeah. That's weird. And then we, like, drank some more, and then we were, like, partying again, and it was like, oh, clearly you want me to, like, play with your butt. Clearly that's what's going on. We didn't discuss this prior to that.
You picked up on that right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they like to, like, go like this.
Yes, for sure.
They're like, like
I forgot guys do that.
Guys
do be doing that. They stick their ass out like they're that Jennifer Aniston photo when she's the
or if they're really a slut, when you're giving them head, they'll like lean back way too far. Or it's like, I can barely reach your dick anymore. It's just ass in my face now.
And like,
I'm not no little bitch that's not gonna get in here.
Yeah. I don't like the ass coming at me from that angle.
Don't dare me like I'm not gonna fuck you. I didn't come here for that, but you're not gonna talk shit about me. Chanel, when you fuck me, I put my ass in her face. You wouldn't even fuck it. You're not gonna talk shit about me.
Oh my God.
I'm
the guy's ass?
Hell yeah.
Yes, me too.
I didn't want to. It wasn't my plan.
Right.
But if you're not gonna set me up and then act like I'm not gonna fuck you.
That's amazing.
I know.
You're down. This is great.
Yeah.
I melted a guy's prostate once.
On
I learned
purpose?
about it. Yeah. I wanted to. I asked him.
How long did that take?
It was my one partner I was with for a really long time. He showed me a porn video once of a guy with a P-spot stimulator. I forget what it was called. Like, I think it was called the Aneros.
Whoa.
And it was just a guy.
Yeah, we were really obsessed with that, talking about that for a while.
One of the hottest videos I have ever seen. Oh, I forgot about it. I'm so glad this came up. It's a guy on a table or on a bed or something like that, a massage table, and his dick is super hard, and he has the Aneros in, and he's just grinding. I don't even think he's touching his dick. I think he's barely touching.
Whoa.
And he came so hard that I was like, I want to go to there.
Yeah. You're like, how can we recreate this?
Yeah. And so we got that toy, and it was like, oh, I didn't know a guy could come like a woman. like that in like a very hot way. And then so when I was hooking up with people after that relationship, I was like, can I try something? I really want to like finger your prostate. And he's like, okay. And I did it. And he was like screaming, like blissfully screaming. I'm like, this is the shit.
I really care about a man making noise. I really care about that. Anytime I've ever hooked up with a guy and they like, let's say they orgasm and you can't tell, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out. I deserve that moan. And you stole it from me.
Yep.
Run it back.
Couldn't agree more. If you are silent during sex, psychopath.
It is psychopathic, but then sometimes men make a noise that you can't unhear, and that's also a problem.
Like what?
Just,
something.
Like it's like some like I've Oh my god. There's just like been sounds that there's no coming back from.
Yeah. I literally one guy I hooked up with. He made the sound that turtles make when they're fucking. They go.
No.
I didn't even know.
No. And I'm like, oh, and I thought he was so hot and sexy, and I was like, no.
That boy was sick. That boy was on some National Geographic shit.
I know.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You guys were breeding. You weren't even. That wasn't even
awful.
intercourse.
I was so bummed. I had such a crush on him. You know, it's like when you get the ick during sex, you're like, ah, damn.
Yeah. One time I hooked up with this guy who had a lazy eye, and you know. Face-to-face lazy eye wasn't that serious. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I was riding him, that lazy eye was going fucking crazy.
It wasn't that lazy.
It wasn't that crazy. And I was like, I'm going to have to cover this I literally cannot. Close your eyes.
Where was it going?
Everywhere.
Whoa.
And it was never like that when I would talk to him. It was never like that. Yeah. It usually was like very chill, but as soon as I was on top of him, I was like, okay, no, you're gonna have to settle that down. But
is this like a medical? Like what? I know what causes a lazy eye.
No.
What causes a lazy eye to move?
I don't know.
To oscillate.
Clearly, some nerve endings were connecting, and I was like, and it pissed me off because I was just like, close your eyes.
Right.
Just close them.
Maybe no one had ever told him.
Maybe.
Wait, do you guys get bothered when a guy has his eyes closed for the majority of sex?
I get bothered when there's a guy there.
That's a different problem.
Eyes closed, yes. Because
all the time?
I get
all the time.
I get bothered, like if it's like, just like from first of all, I am really bad about closing my eyes, but that's just because I think I like didn't like a lot of people I was dating. But
meaning you close your eye, you would close your eyes.
I would close my and I also like I would close my eyes because it would help me to come because I would have to concentrate so hard.
Same.
But I've like gotten past that. But yeah, no. If guys have their eyes closed all the time, that would piss me off. It's like
who are you fucking? Because it ain't me.
Right.
No. Who are you fucking in that head?
Well, then I start thinking that they have something like very deeply wrong with them sexually, and then I'm like, you're not going to go to therapy, and like, is this going to last for years? Is this going to come up in another situation later? Right. I can't go through all that.
Yeah. No. I like. You could take some breaks and close your eyes if you're really feeling it.
Sure.
But come back here.
Yeah.
Because we're in here together.
Right.
Yeah. I also don't like if you're doing missionary with a guy and let's say like he's like just significantly bigger than you.
Right.
If they don't accommodate for that, like I don't want your sternum in my face this whole time.
Oh, like when they
gotta like hunch over.
Yes,
like
I'm like, yo, like don't just disappear on top of me.
Right.
Because then I could just get somebody else in here. It's just bodies. We're just doing torso.
Right.
We're just fucking a torso.
Right.
Then who cares?
Yes.
I don't need you in here.
Yeah, I do like when the guy's like a lot bigger than me. It's so like taller, fat. I don't even care how big in what way, but I'm like, ooh, I'm so little, so dainty next to you, sir.
I do remember one time I was hooking up with a short guy, and we were in a hotel, and I went to like turn around so we could do doggy, and then I realized that my legs are way too long for him to possibly. I was like, oh. Sorry.
That's so funny.
That's my bad. We'll do something else. This bed is high.
Yeah. It's not your fault.
I forgot you.
Have you hooked up on fields?
You know, I have, but unfortunately, they became relationships.
That's great, but
but it wasn't my intention. I was literally on field just trying to hook up, and the first guy I met on there, like our first date, he was like, "I feel like we're about to be together," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so."
Wait, did you like accidentally get into relationships?
Yeah, accidentally, yeah. I think it's because like they started out with something so sexual, and then I try to talk to them because I'm trying to like make sure that I'm going to be comfortable.
Sure.
And then luckily they have a big dick and I like them.
Right. Oh, that's the best.
Here we are. Ugh, what are we going to do?
That'll rope you in.
Go out again. I think we are.
That'll rope you in.
Are you having sex on the road a lot? Because I know like before you said like, oh, met this guy on the road. Like to me, like Well, I don't know. Talk about you fucking guys on the road, because number one, I think it's like a little scary, and then number two, a lot of times men don't come up to female comedians after shows, so it's like, how is this even originating?
I feel like it's rare that I do it with a guy that I haven't had some type of previous interaction with. So it's like, that's my third or fourth time visiting that city.
Right.
We've been communicating online. He knows that I'm coming. Blah blah blah. We've been like getting to know each other.
Okay.
But I have had guys like randomly ask me for a whatever, and sometimes I'll just cuddle. Sometimes,
really?
Sometimes if I just want, like, I'm on the road and I just want to hang out with somebody, and now it's late and we're like chilling, and I've already threatened him with physical violence, then I'm like, let's just cuddle and chill, and like don't be a fucking weirdo, because I'll beat your ass. But yeah, you do have to like maintain control and catch the vibe, and tell somebody to get the fuck out if it's some weird shit. And also, I almost always tell somebody if somebody, like, I'm bringing this guy to my hotel room.
Okay.
Here's his Instagram. Here's his name.
Tell a friend that.
Yeah. I'll send a screenshot of his ID. No, I'll just whatever.
I've done that once.
Yeah. Whatever. I will let somebody know if I'm just not feeling 1,000% confident. But it's like an over-under. It depends how much I'm dating here at home.
Yeah.
And how lit the show was.
Right. Because then you're on a high and you feel like I feel like stand-up comedy puts me in my masculine energy in a way that I really like. Yeah. And so, I could see really wanting to fuck afterwards, or just like having being in the company of a man afterwards.
And I've always found that it's like a 3 interaction rule. Like if a guy says, yo, you were so funny, I'm like, thank you so much. And then he's like, you were like my favorite. I'm like, oh yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And he's like, I'm Derek. I'm like, so we're fucking. I mean, it's, what do you keep, let's just, okay, let's do it. It's fine.
I hate when guys like half hit on you, and I'm like, if you're going to hit on me, hit on me.
Yeah, I agree. But they're very intimidated. I mean, we're female clowns. It's a lot.
Yeah. Right. Like, come on, dude. What are you fucking afraid of?
They're terrified we're going to like see them as we do.
I know.
They're so terrified of being like perceived. And I'm like, it's okay. What if I could like you for being the weird little weirdo that you are?
Yeah, and then that's a good deal
and
for everybody.
Like, suspicious. Something's wrong with this girl. She keeps trying to like see me.
Oh no, she's looking at something on her phone.
I was literally looking at how many emails they had to send me about my mammogram tomorrow. I was like, guys.
Yeah, I gotta go get one, despite my gynecologist saying don't get one.
She said don't get one?
Yeah, she's like, wait, get a mammogram when you're 40. I'm like, what?
Oh, mine has been saying since I was 35, like every year.
So, yeah, I thought it was every year.
Well, but you used to, like in maybe like 10 years ago, you would start when you were 40, but now cancer is on the rise, especially breast cancer. So my OBGYN started at 35. Yeah. And like just so many of our colleagues in the comedy community who I know are under 40 have breast cancer, and it's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
And I've seen people like preventatively get a mastectomy, and it's like, wow, whatever we have to do to survive it.
Right.
No,
I think that's people who have like a lot of genetic.
Then they know like it's they're taking time off.
Really scary.
So this is again why men should do more things for us, because like our tits are trying to kill us.
I know, everything's trying to kill us.
Yeah, God damn it.
Yeah, I say this on stage. It's like, it sucks to be attracted to your number one predator. It's just like,
oh my gosh, that sucks. Yes. I'm like, why do you like that smell, Chanel? It's gonna kill you.
Yeah, no. Like,
why do you love that scent?
Such an internal battle, being a woman. So many internal battles.
It's gonna smother you.
As somebody who you're so good at being vulnerable, especially in relationships. Like, what's the most vulnerable you've ever gotten with a lover or a boyfriend?
Honestly, I think I'm like across the board pretty vulnerable, because I need them to understand like what I've been through, so that they understand why I do what I do, you know?
Yeah.
Because even if it comes to like their family and whatever, like they might not understand why I don't want to go to the Christmas thing. And I need to tell them like, yo, I have experienced a lot of things enough to know when it's real and when it's not, and when a situation is healthy or when it's toxic.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you to disconnect from your family, but for damn sure I'm not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
If they're fucking toxic. Yeah. I literally don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't care. So they can be mad at me and disappointed and not understand this, whatever. But yeah, I think just like really chasing my dreams.
Yeah.
And in the last few years, I've had to like have hard conversations with men about what my priorities are and how important my legacy is.
Yeah.
And how I don't want to be distracted by having a baby.
Yeah, so you don't no kids.
You're the first woman I've ever met who brought up legacy, because I always mock men, because men always, like, this is a big problem. I don't want kids either, but every man I've ever freaking dated for the most part wants kids. And when I ask them why, and not like in a combative way, I just say, can you explain to me why you want kids, and specifically why you want to have your own kids, not adopt, something like that, right? Yeah. And they always end up saying that I need someone to carry on my legacy, and I always follow up with, your legacy of what? Because in these relationships, I'm the only one with a legacy, and that's my fault for dating these people. But I'm like, when are you planning on creating this legacy? Yeah. So, like, what to you? What is your legacy? It's your artistic career, obviously.
My artistic career. I mean, having opportunities like this where I talk about healing and I try to enlighten people, and even just like the physical things. Like, when I think about all the badges from comedy festivals, I've traveled all over the world, making money, telling jokes, being one of the greatest at it. And that to me is important to pass on, even if it's not to my child, but to women, to Black women, to inspire them to speak up, to talk your shit, that your ideas, your creative ideas are good, and we should make them, and we should ask people for money to make them bigger and better and whatever. Like, that is my legacy for sure, is that, like, if you can see it, let's do it.
That is such a powerful legacy, man. Because I think this world and our society at large is so in need of examples of how to be. That is the most potent way to change your own life, because you're seeing an example, so you're seeing proof that it is possible. So all you got to do is rearrange some things up here. You got to rewire and reprogram, and that hurts, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's not an easy process, but you should. And the next time you're riding a guy, slap it.
And if he's got a lazy eye, put a patch over it.
Cover it up and do what feels good for you.
You're the shit, man. You're such a great example of so many things.
I appreciate it. It's not easy, and I've had plenty of times where I've done the most toxic thing, drank all the rum, but I pride myself on learning the lessons and trying to do better every day.
That's beautiful. What would you like to promote? Where can we find you online? Where can we see you perform?
You guys come out September 17th to the 28th. I'm doing my one-woman show called Relative Stranger at the Soho Playhouse in New York City. Hopefully it'll get extended, but if not, we'll be touring. And you can follow me on Instagram at Chanel Ali. Chanel like the perfume, Ali like Muhammad.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here again. It's a pleasure to see you.
I just love talking to y'all.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You're great. Yeah, I was like, that flew by. This has been Guys We Fuck, the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.